What's up, guys? You are listening to Radiantly Aligned, episode number 78. In today's episode, we're just going to get right to the point. We're going to cut the shit and clear some space because we all know that we can clear out some of the clutter that's going on in our brain. And I'm here to give you some tangible, practical tips, tools, and insight to help you do that, to help you bring in more peace into your life, more calm, and not chaos, frustration, drama, and all of that. So most people's minds aren't lacking peace necessarily. They're just overcrowded with maybe other people's expectations, old conversations that keep replaying, things you feel cringe about, pressure to be further ahead, a constant stream of noise telling you who you're supposed to be. And then we wonder why we feel anxious. Now, I want you to imagine you're trying to relax in a house that's filled from the floor to the ceiling with just stuff. You wouldn't be telling the owner of the house, hey, you should go buy more stuff. Let's get you another couch up in here. No. You would want to clear the space so that you can relax. The same thing goes for your mind. Peace doesn't just arrive because you want to force calm on yourself. It arrives when the nervous system finally has room to breathe. We need to create space for it. We can't just keep adding and adding clutter and expect your environment, your brain, your body to just magically feel peaceful. So if you're craving more peace in your life, the question becomes, what needs to leave your mental space? Not everything deserves to live in your head rent-free, my friend. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Not every worry deserves your attention. Mental clarity is honestly one of the most valuable assets that you can have. So here are a few simple ways to start clearing space mentally. First, limit your intake. Limit what you let in, especially first thing in the morning and before you go to bed. Your mind is not meant to process endless amounts of information all day long. This is why I just had to stop watching the news, guys. I can keep up on very important things that need my attention, and it's usually from somebody else that says, oh, did you hear this? Because I kind of refuse to just turn the news on and hear everything that's going on everywhere, or we just aren't meant for that. We're not meant to take that in all hours of the day. So just, if you don't eliminate it completely, just be mindful of everything that you're letting in. If you wake up immediately and scroll, like the first thing you want to do is jump on Instagram or check your email, read the news, respond to text messages, your nervous system never quite gets that moment of quiet before the world rushes into your space, rushes into your energy. So try to give yourself 20, 30 minutes of protected space in the morning. And I know if you have little kiddos, like that doesn't happen all of the time, but if you can create any space of just protecting your peace when you first wake up, then go for it, even if it's 5 minutes instead of 30. No phone, no input. All of my friends know I am the person that is just on do not disturb all day long. I actually have it set to, I think it's personal on iPhone. When I'm within a certain amount of feet from my home, my phone automatically goes on personal. And people are like, how do you do that when you have kids? I'm like, they know their phone call will come through. I have it set to certain contacts come through, but I will not be receiving these notifications, these texts, until I am ready to look at those and receive those. You can do this. You know that, right? You know that you don't have to be available for somebody 24 hours a day. You know that you can check messages and emails and notifications at a certain time that you choose? Did you know that? Did you know that you can actually turn off notifications? I don't get any notifications for Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. I go in to check it when I want to. You know what I mean? You can take back control of some of that. Just that no phone, no input, that first little bit before you start your day makes such a difference. Just your breath, a walk, stretching, using that time to journal or have coffee in silence or whatever allows your mind to wake up more gently instead of chaotically or frustrating or already in comparison mode within 2 minutes of waking up. You'd be amazed at how much calmer the entire day feels when you start your mind in stillness instead of stimulation. Let that sink in, okay? Secondly, write things out of your head. This is one thing that several coaches of mine instilled in me. They're all different, right? These are all different coaches. Each one, I swear to you, has said this in some form or capacity. And I also have been reading a book that recently mentioned this as well. So I'm like, there is something to this. Write things out of your head. I would say in the morning if you can. Your brain is great at thinking, but it's terrible at trying to hold it all and keep it together, okay? So when your thoughts are circling endlessly, it's usually because they have nowhere to go. A simple brain dump can change the game for you. So what that is just getting a journal and literally writing out all of the things that are annoying you or unresolved or that you just need to get out of your system, or even good things, like just let some things out of your brain. You could rip up the paper after if you want to, because there's some times where I write out the most ridiculous things that I don't want anybody to ever come across. So I'm like, okay, let me just get this out. Rip that paper. Doesn't matter. Just get it out of your mind and onto the paper. The moment you write it down, your nervous system often relaxes a little bit because the brain is no longer holding on to the majority of that and no longer feels responsible for carrying it alone. All right. So this is a huge one. Like I said, I noticed that each one of my coaches were saying this. Like if you can brain dump first thing in the morning and then maybe even before bed, I would recommend the morning one though. That can make a huge difference in your day, just to, first of all, not be scrolling and like getting outside stimulation from the world, but just kind of going within and getting things out of your head, clearing some space. Cut the shit, clear some space so that you can bring in more peace. So the third thing is reduce unnecessary decisions. Okay. We are in decision fatigue like no other time. I just can't even. There's so many decisions to be made as a parent, as just an adult, a human in society. So if you reduce some of those things, like for example, what workout clothes am I going to wear today? Like even stupid, silly things like that. If you just lay out your clothes the night before, this is what I have my kids do too. Like, don't even try to figure out your outfit the morning of. Like, let's just lay out a couple options at night and then you choose the one in the morning. Because we're just so cluttered with this decision fatigue, and the brain likes simplicity. It really does. Simple routines, simple meals, simple schedules. So if you were to even just kind of map out what you're going to eat, not necessarily meal prep because maybe that feels overwhelming to you, but just keep things freaking simple. Just simplify your life, my friend. It doesn't need to be crazy. You don't need this chaotic routine all the time. And I know for your kids, you're going everywhere. So you need to keep things simple for yourself. Okay? So limit some of the unnecessary little decisions by just putting your clothes out the night before. Already have planned what you're going to eat that day. Already have planned your workout so that you're not overthinking things the day of. Should I respond to this? Should I not respond to it? Like, let's just take the decision fatigue out. Tiny decisions like that stack up all day long. So the more you simplify your life, even in small ways, the more mental energy you're going to free up. Peace, loves simplicity. That's the truth. So number 4, this is a hot tip that I used to have clients do all of the time, and I'm going to die on this hill, okay? Declutter your phone. As simple as this sounds. Again, peace, love, simple, right? Declutter your phone. That means go through old voicemails. Clear those ones you don't want, that you don't need to hang on to. Go through those emails. I see you guys out there with 1,000 emails on that little red notification. Let's clear some of that out, all right? And removing old apps even. Like, just go through your phone. Clear some shit out that you don't need. You don't think it's affecting you, but the more you kind of declutter and simplify your life, the easier it's going to feel to your brain. It's so wild. Simple things like that. I do this every month. I'm not even lying. Actually, it's probably even more than that. But for sure, like a deep declutter of my phone at the beginning of every month. Because I don't want to hold on to anything. That's unnecessary. Nope, get it out of here. I haven't used this app in 6 months. Bye. Like, I don't need another app. Let me clear these voicemails. Let me clear these old emails. Let me take my pictures from my phone and put them on my desktop or on a hard drive and just clear it. People are like, how? But then you won't look at your pictures. Yes, I do. I have my computer. And also I print out my pictures at the end of every year. Like, I'm fine. I don't need to pull up my kids' baby pictures every single day. Like, it's okay. Clear some space on your everyday life, all right? Move it to your hard drive or your computer. If that's your vibe. If that's not your vibe, that's okay. Clear some other things. And then I'm going to challenge you to clear one thing in your living space. So I would say in your bedroom, because that's where you first wake up. You'll notice some clutter. You go into that junk drawer, or like right before bed, you can feel that too. So clear something in your room that will be noticeable to you. A little section of your closet, like I said, a junk drawer, the undies drawer. Get rid of those old underwear. Girl, I know you have those old undies in there, or the old bra that is just disgusting from that so many years ago that you're like, okay, I just got to get rid of these. Or all the socks that have those little holes. Like, just let's declutter. Let's get rid of these things, okay? So just do something like that you'll notice. It doesn't seem like a stretch. Like, I'm not asking you to declutter your whole closet, but just choose one thing in your room and declutter it, simplify it. So here's a little bonus. And I added this one in here because I'm guilty of it sometimes too. Stop rehearsing conversations that haven't happened. Yes. This one is a big one that can drain your mental energy. We imagine arguments. We imagine old conflicts. Like, we replay them in our heads. We prepare speeches for things that may not even occur. Like, I get rehearsing maybe a conversation, like a big conversation that you're about to have with your spouse. So you kind of want to rehearse this conversation and just make sure that you're sounding not too frantic or whatever going into it. So I get some of this, but you know what I'm talking about, right? I can't be the only one that replays old things or like imagines these crazy scenarios. And I'm like, why am I even thinking about this? This is not even happening in real life and I'm crying. Like, what the fuck? So let's pull back on that. If you find yourself doing that, replaying old conflicts, imagining arguments, just stop yourself. It is leaking your energy. It's taking up some mental space. All right. Just let's calm that down a little bit. Even imagined scenarios are still going to activate your nervous system as if it's real. Like, your body doesn't know the difference if it's real or not real. So why not, I guess, create something more magical instead of trying to create someone dying and you talking at their funeral? Not to be dramatic, but like, yeah, I've done that. I've done that before. Like, it's wild to me that we do this. And your brain has the power to do it and to actually stop yourself in the middle and catch yourself and gently ask, what's actually happening right now? Is this serving me to think of this scenario right now? If not, let it go. and just let your energy belong in the present moment, not in the past, not in the future. Let it belong in the present moment. And when you start to do this, something beautiful happens. Clarity returns, creativity returns, peace returns, but not because you chased it, my friend, but because you've opened up space for it. Your peace, your creativity, your clarity are going to return when you've opened up the space for it. It doesn't just magically clear a room. Like what we talked about in the beginning, if you have clutter in your house in one room, you can't expect to relax. You don't want to go out and buy more stuff. You want to clear some space so that you can really step into that relaxation, so that you can really step into clarity. Peace is not something you earn by doing more. It's something that naturally will rise when your mind is no longer crowded and feels heavy and overburdened with things. And it's just going to feel a little easier if you don't have a crazy amount of mental clutter going on in your brain. All right. So again, let's just review really quick the tips and the strategies that I've laid out for you. And if you focus on doing that this week, that would be amazing. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. So number one, let me go right here. Number one, limit what you let in. So just being intentional about the things that you let in. So let's just make this a 1 week challenge. Start with 1 week by noticing what you're allowing into your brain, especially first thing in the morning and at night. So I'm going to challenge you to not go on your phone and scroll first thing in the morning, but instead use that energy and time to do that brain dump. Remember to just write down, pen to paper, write down the things that you just need to get off of your chest and out of your brain. And then if you need to, rip that paper up. Second thing is, well, I just said it, to actually write it down. So the next thing was reduce unnecessary decisions. So we're going to limit that decision fatigue by just being more simple about your week. So laying out your clothes the night before, actually planning the workout before you go to the gym, maybe planning those simple meals beforehand instead of just going into this spin out crazy where you're like, why am I staring at my closet trying to figure out what color sports bra to wear for 8 minutes? Like, what? It's because your mind is so cluttered. So we want to keep it simple and just keep that decision fatigue down. And then the fourth thing was to declutter your phone. And like I said, don't skip out on this one. All right. Even if it takes you the full week to kind of declutter your phone because you're someone that has a lot of those notifications and you need to get through them all, that's okay. Take the time and declutter your phone. Clear the voicemails, clear the emails, clear the old apps. And then your bonus tip was to catch yourself if you're rehearsing conversations or scenarios that haven't even happened or are totally made up. Let's catch yourself in those moments, step back a little bit, and just not use your mental energy for that. Because I see it as all of these little things are energy leaks. And if you think of like how a leak starts, maybe small, just small little leak, but over time, you're draining the system. Okay, so you want to focus on keeping those energy leaks at a minimum and doing what you can, doing your part to take back control and be more intentional about your own energy. So again, let's cut the shit and clear some space and add in more peace into your life, because you can't bring in that peace and more calm to a brain that is completely cluttered. So let's start to clear it. Let's start to clear that space and bring in more love, light, and clear mental energy this week. All right, that's all I have for you today. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye.